So these are my annotations for pages 1 through 75 of To Kill a Mockingbird, which is chapters 1 through 7. So for chapter 1, my annotation was right here. So this is on page 4. This is right in the beginning, right over here. I have it there. It says cotton equals slaves. And so what I mean by that, it says, it was customary for the men in the family to remain on Simon's homestead, Finch's Landing, and make their living from cotton. When it says cotton, the book actually means it makes their living from slaves. So during this time, it was 1941 in the book, which is a segregational time, and that was when there were slaves in America. So basically this book has to do a lot with slavery. For chapter 2, my annotations are on page 22, and it is highlighted over here. And I also have a little bit highlighted, well, I do have a lot highlighted on page 23 also, and I have a little bit of writing, and I'll explain what I'm saying. And so basically what I wrote for my annotation was Scout actually taught herself how to read. So in paragraph 1, 2, 3 on page 23, it says, I mumbled that I was sorry and retired meditating upon my crime. I never deliberately learned to read, but somehow I had been wallowing illiterically in the daily papers. So basically I found it kind of interesting how Scout taught herself how to read. But on page 22, what I read was that I suppose she chose me because she knew my name. As I read the alphabet, a faint line appeared between her eyebrows, and after making me read most of my first reader and the stock market quotations from the mobile register aloud, she discovered that I was literate and looked at me with more than faint distaste. Miss Caroline told me to tell my father not to teach me anymore. It would interfere with my reading. So that was in paragraph 3, at the end of paragraph 3. And so I found that to be interesting because Miss Caroline actually doesn't want Scout to read, even though she is ahead of the class. She wants her to stay behind with the class and doesn't want her to improve on her reading skills and to improve in her education. So she wants her to stop what she's doing and take steps backwards instead of step forward. So I thought that shouldn't be correct, and that Scout should be able to read if she wants to, because she is just ahead of them and she's going to have to learn sooner or later. So in chapter 3, I annotated on page 33 that Calpurnia, which is, I annotated up here, and here are my notes up here, that actually Calpurnia is a very well-mannered black girl, even though she is a slave, but she's very, very kind to the white people. So basically, in this part, Scout insulted Cal because he is a Cunningham and he's poor, and Calpurnia responded, hush your mouth, don't matter who they are, anybody sets foot in this house, your company, and don't you let me catch you remarking on their ways like you was so high and mighty, and so on forth. And she keeps, and she actually does hit a Scout when she talks about Cal like that, because Calpurnia doesn't accept that type of behavior. So I actually found that very interesting, because she doesn't, even though she's a slave, she doesn't care who the person is. If you talk bad about someone, she doesn't approve of it, and she's raising the kids like a motherly figure and teaching them the proper etiquette of manners, to never judge someone just by how much money they have and everything like that. So I thought that was really cool. In chapter 4, on page 50 on the bottom, on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, the 10th paragraph, where it starts with C there, so I have it annotated right here. It says, see there, Jim was scowling triumphantly. Nothing to it. I swear, Scout, sometimes you act so much like a girl, it's mortifying. So, actually, I thought that was interesting, because Scout does act like the tough girl. She is a tomboy, and it made me realize that maybe Jem prefers to think of Scout as a brotherly figure instead of a sisterly figure, because she seems like more like a guy, and she just acts as one of the boys, and she's always hanging out with guys, and she's beating up guys, and was roughhousing around and doing things with them, so that was interesting. So for chapter 5 on page 65 on paragraph 1, 2, 3 at the end of it, and also including all of paragraph 4, this is the part when they are trying to make Boo Radley come out and Atticus catches them. And so Atticus says, I'm going to tell you something and tell you one time. Stop tormenting that man. That goes for the other two of you. And then it talks about how Scout is talking about how she doesn't believe that Boo should come out because of force, that if he wants to be inside, he should be inside. And so I feel that basically her Scout and her dad are kind of the same person, because though they are curious of how Boo is doing and stuff like that, they don't want to cause trouble for him because he's already a troubled child. So if he wants to stay inside, he should be allowed to stay inside. And you should never force someone to do something that they don't want to do. So I thought that was interesting, because that shows how you can always get characteristic traits like your parents. So I feel that Scout is very much like her father, and possibly Jem was more like his mother, because Jem is very curious on things while Scout wants to leave it as it is now. So in chapter 6 on page 69, in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, the 6th paragraph where it starts with Scout, I'm telling you, basically right here, Scout is asking Jem and Dill not to go to the Boo Radley house a second time right before Dill goes back home in Mississippi. And so and then this is when she's saying, Jem, please, this is Jem's response was, Scout, I'm telling you for the last time, shut your trap or go home. I declare to the Lord, you're getting more like a girl every day. So basically I feel that that Jem is actually judging Scout by being a girl, and that she is not necessarily a brother, and he wants her to stay as a brotherly figure instead of a sisterly figure, because he wants a pal to hang out with. But also this leads into another thing, how even though Scout doesn't mean to act like a girl, or like a girl, even though it's not necessarily a boy or girl thing, Scout is just trying to do the right thing and wanting to leave Boo Radley alone, because she doesn't know if he's dangerous or not or anything, and he just wants to stay inside. So she's asking him, please, can you not go? But Jem is saying, you're either coming or we're leaving you, and you're just going to be a girl, and we're not going to like you. And of course it's Dill's last night. So I feel that Scout is basically kind of peer pressured to go with them, to go to the Boo Radley house so she can redeem her name as being one of the guys instead of being just a girl that they don't want to hang around with and that has to tag along with them every time, because that's their Jem's sister and one of their good friends. Thank you.